What is up, guys? Welcome back. Nvidia, the darling of Wall Street, is going to report its earnings today after market closure. In this video, I'm going to explain all the necessary information that you must know in order to trade efficiently. Let's start with the first thing and the most important, which is the product itself. You might have heard Blackwell, which is Nvidia's most advanced chip as we speak right now. Blackwell was introduced by Jensen Huang, the CEO, in early March 2024. It is the most advanced GPU that you can buy in the market right now. It runs 2.5 times faster than its predecessor Hopper, featuring 208 billion transistors in one single chip, which is by far surpassing AMD's top premium chip with 158 billion. Regarding the performance and efficiency, it is 25 times more efficient than Hopper, which was the previous chip sold by Nvidia. For example, the GB200, which consists of 2 GPUs and 1 CPU. Not to mention the server racks, where you can stack up to 72 GPUs, providing unmatched AI processing power to its clients, Microsoft, OpenAI, and Meta. Now let's move on to the potential revenue. Nvidia is already surpassed $3 trillion market capitalization, replacing Intel in the Dow Jones 30. The market estimated around $250 billion revenue annually just from the Blackwell chip. Analysts are projecting $5 to $8 billion revenue from Blackwell in 2025 Q1. The shipment of 100,000 GPUs in Q4 is expected by investors. That is the minimum expectation that the market wants to see. But there are some challenges as well with Nvidia's most anticipated chip, Blackwell. Reports showing of an overheating issue in the server racks and the design delay, which adds a 3-month lag to the production. Investors' biggest concerns are scalability and the ramp-up speed. But what is the investor sentiment after all of this? The optimism remains high despite the production concerns. Analysts project strong demand, but differing timeline for scaling revenue. Now, the story is very similar to Tesla back in 2014 and 2016 when they had production issues. Tesla was burning billions of dollars annually, but the demand for its product remained absolutely untouched because the company have had a charismatic CEO behind it with a visionary product. So when it comes to the investor call, I highly recommend everyone to look for some information regarding the Blackwell chip, because this is going to determine the market sentiment for Nvidia in the short-term future. And now let's move on to the trading. If you like trade indices like myself instead of the individual stock like Nvidia, here's the most important thing that you need to know. Nvidia is listed on the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq as well, but there are key differences between the two indices. Dow Jones composition tracks the 30 biggest blue chip companies like Apple, Nike, and Microsoft. Dow Jones is price weighted. Companies with higher stock price have more influence. Industry representation focuses on industrial and established sectors, offering a snapshot of the broader economy. It represents only 30 companies, making it less comprehensive than other indices. Nasdaq represents over 3,700 companies listed on the Nasdaq exchange, because Nasdaq is not just an exchange, but an index itself representing over 3,700 companies listed on the Nasdaq exchange. The calculation in the Nasdaq index is by market capitalization, meaning that larger companies have more influence. The industry representation is mostly focused on tech companies, but it also represents biotech and consumer industries. And when you're comparing Dow Jones with Nasdaq, Nasdaq has more potential to move because the companies listed has way much more market capitalization than in the Dow Jones, and also more and bigger companies listed in the Nasdaq. Not to mention that most of the companies listed on Nasdaq index are the main customers of Nvidia, Meta, and Microsoft. And Microsoft just announced the use of Nvidia chips in its new product. So when it comes to trading, I'm going to choose Nasdaq to trade Nvidia tonight. So let's move on to the technical analysis that everyone is waiting for. I'm going to trade US 100, aka Nasdaq today, because it has more potential to move. Because the companies listed in Nasdaq are some of the biggest clients of Nvidia with huge market capitalization. This is not investment advice, and based on my preliminary analysis on Nvidia and other companies, I'm bullish on Nasdaq because of Nvidia and its clients in the Nasdaq 100. So looking at the bigger time frame, you can see that the Nasdaq is clearly bullish, especially since Trump got re-elected as president of the United States of America. And what I see is that Nasdaq has the potential to continue creating new all-time highs even after a little bit of pullback. As you can see, that price is currently trading above 20,500 and 600, which are the daily and the weekly pivots. So potentially during market open today, market or Nasdaq could pull back a little bit just to the daily pivot, but as soon as Nvidia is going to report, and if the news and if the data, if the narrative is bullish and positive and optimistic regarding to the future and the new product to the Blackwell chip, we could see a massive spike in Nasdaq and Nvidia, and that could push Nasdaq to a new all-time high. So people who are just looking at the video, and if price is at the current level of $20,722, if you're looking to enter into a position, maybe I would wait until New York opens, and if price comes down a little bit lower, maybe in between the daily and the weekly pivot, that would be the sweet spot, that would be the right entry for me, and I would put the stop loss wide enough so when it comes to volatility, my position is safe and sound. The profit target is obviously always the previous all-time high, that's TP number 1, but I have high hopes that price could easily spike all the way to 22,000 if Nvidia can fulfill the promises and hopes for investors. So here it is, you can find the link to this chart below the video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, guys. Good luck today, and hopefully Nasdaq is going to create a new all-time high. This is the Alpha FX.